from the streets of Philly. I mean, just a straight badass. So awesome to have him on the show. Eddie Alvarez, man, thank you so much, brother, for taking the time. And first thing I ask is, man, how is your family? And I hope, the past couple of months, you've been able to really enjoy the fruits of your labor and just have some good family time, man.
Oh, we have, man. Thanks for having me, Brian. So we got a little further out of Philadelphia. I needed to move into a house that fit me and my wife and my 4 children. we were getting packed up in there for a little while. So we got out, got some space, and moved into a nice house right outside of Philly. And I've been enjoying myself, man. Had a bad night in November, and no problem. Got back on a horse probably about 6 weeks ago. Met back up with my coaches and strength and conditioning coaches, Mark Henry and everybody, and we formulated a plan to come back to take over a division that I believe is mine.
Yeah, and when you do this game, we all have those nights. We just have bad nights, and I knew your game plan going in, and it was just a night where you really never got started executing it. And unfortunately, in this sport, shit happens, and when shit happens, it happens pretty quick.
It's war, man. You know about war.
Yeah.
You have a plan until you're in it, right?
Exactly right. Exactly. I think that one of the biggest things I took away from that, though, man, is it's hard. It's not easy to be classy when you are really disappointed, and everybody knew you were disappointed, but there were no excuses. There was no BS. You were super classy in defeat. And I think it was a moment where your wife and all 4 of your children, they could look at that moment and potentially be even more prouder of you than they were when you won that belt, because that's the harder thing to do. Winning a belt, jumping up on a cage, putting your hands up, that's easy, right? But when you had to show your true, like we saw the true Eddie Alvarez in that moment, we saw the man. When you die and your eulogy is read, that's the part of you that that lives on more so than your win-loss record.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Me by myself, the athlete part of me, the ego inside of me, and everything like that, I would have never been able to step up and do that. But I have 3 boys, and they're getting older now, and they're competing, and they're in soccer leagues, and they're competing on their own now. So I have a bigger role than just myself, and I understand that, and I try to not. I'm not always doing how I feel inside, but I'm doing what I feel is right. So to be able to put a suit on, step up, and admit what I did wrong, and move along, that's the most important thing. And that's what being a champion's about. That's what I pride myself in doing. And I'm excited because it was a small chapter in my full book that will be my career. And it was a disastrous chapter, but now we get to write some new good ones.
Bro, it's so funny to hear you even mentioning Disastrous about your career. How much hardware do you currently have at your house? And by hardware, folks at home, I mean belts. This is stuff that fighters pride themselves on. How many are sitting there right now? I imagine they're on a mantle, they're framed, they're somewhere, and they better be prominent. How many do you have?
Hey, I got a house with an office now, so I'm big time now. No,
you should.
In my office, I have some belts up, but the majority of my belts are in my old house in the shed in some plastic Tupperware, which I need to get them out and display them. But right now, I just have the last Bellator belt I have and the UFC belt. So I want to display the other ones that I have along with other stuff, but I try not to put too much stuff up because I have a lot more things I want to do and collect. So I don't want to rest on what I've done. I have more to accomplish. So I'm excited.
That's pretty interesting. So you don't want to put it up just so mentally you don't feel like you've already achieved everything. So you keep them. You're talking about belts like most fighters talk about their training gloves. You know what I mean? I've got some in this shed over here. I got some in the trunk of my car. How many belts in total have you won at this point?
I do, man. I have about 5 or 6 world titles from different promotions, but I don't value them the way I should. When I get older, I probably will, but I've been guilty of that. My wife yells at me about it a bit, but I don't value it. I think I get really excited about becoming a world champion of whether a new promotion or maybe I have a goal in mind. But I realized that something about myself, the more I did this, was I would achieve the goal and then I'd still be completely unhappy. So it was never really the belt that I wanted. I don't know what I'm searching for. I just I get excited about something and then I achieve it, and then I'm like always looking over the fence for what's next. I never really sit back and enjoy what I accomplish. So the older I get, the more I can do that.
Your gift is your curse. That's a sign of a lot of successful people. And unfortunately, I mean, to be a fighter at the world-class level and be a world champion multiple times over like you have to have a certain chip on your shoulder. Because if you don't, you get satisfied, right? This sport's too hard. If you're satisfied, you're not training hard. We've seen it. When fighters lose the hunger, they're done. And that's, I mean, from MFC, Bodog, Bellator, UFC, I mean, those are all major promotions where you were fighting world-caliber opponents. That's some sick hardware right there. I'm not sure where the fifth one is. I'm not sure which organization it was. But, I mean, most guys try to get one belt and they fail. When you finally put them all up, you're going to make a lot of people jealous. That's going to make a hell of an Instagram post.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of pain. I come from a messed up part of Philadelphia, and it was easy dealing with the things I dealt with to push forward, to not want to go back to where I came from. So that part was simple. I made a lot of money, and I won a lot of world titles. I really feel like right now is a time in my career where it's time to dig deep, because I in the past it was very simple to pinpoint a reason why. My children, I needed to do something for the people that are looking up to me. So I found the last couple of months that I needed to dig deep to find even more of a why to move forward. Although I've accomplished what I've accomplished, and I've done that, and I'm excited, man. I'm like rejuvenated about the opportunity to get back in the cage and show what I'm made of.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll tell you what, the interesting thing is, obviously you have plenty of people who want to fight you, which I always tell guys, that's a compliment. They want what you have, and that's why everybody wants to fight you. I mean, there's a lot of people asking to fight you now. Now, is the Dustin Poirier fight set in stone for 211, or is that still up in the air?
No, I believe it's set. I believe it's set. I think we signed a bad agreement. I believe they did, so I think we're good. I think we're good to go.
Oh man, what an awesome
I hope so.
Fight on a sick card. That's gonna be UFC 211 in Dallas, right?
Yeah, man, he made a lot of noise with the Jim Miller fight, and he's been putting on some great shows. So I'm excited to get back in the cage with someone like that, someone of his style. I need a good fight like that in me. I have one in me right now, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, winning 5 out of his last 6. I mean, wins over Joe Duffy, Bobby Green, Jim Miller. I mean, Dustin Poirier has looked fantastic at coming up at 155, and the style matchup of you two, right? It's going to be your typical, Eddie Alvarez style fight where everybody gets what they paid for. I can't wait for that. And you said, you guys were developing the roadway forward. Are there things? I mean, Mark Henry's a mad scientist. I mean, he overanalyzes every fight. Are there things he sees? I mean, he probably has a 6-month plan for you already mapped out. But were you guys talking? Was it technical, or was it just setting up your training? Are there? I mean, as long as you've been fighting, are there still technical goals you have in terms of your technique and your fighting style that are still being laid out for you?
Oh, always. I have habits that they're hard to get rid of. Bad habits hard to get rid of. They're a blessing and a curse. Sometimes when you're really strong at something, it also could be a weakness of yours. But we're always working on getting just a little bit better, working on fine details. But Mark in itself, we've been training for southpaws for I don't know how long now. I think so. We had Anthony Pettis. We had RDA and McGregor. So for about over a year now, we've been getting ready for southpaws. So I looked down the list. I said, I looked down the list. Another southpaw, and this guy likes to throw down, and I think this could be a magical of a fight. So and Dustin's been making some noise. So it just more than anything, just excited to get my hands on a guy like this.